Hello and welcome to Viscosity North America's demo of data-driven decisions with ADW and Oracle Analytic Cloud. I've already got an Analytics Cloud instance created, so what I'll do next is navigate to my OAC URL, my desktop, if you will, where I do all of my OAC related work. As you can see here, there's an enormous number of different ways that I could connect to different data sources. But for right now, I'm going to build a connector over to an existing ADW instance so that I can start accessing data sources within that instance. The first thing that I'll do is build a connection by clicking on the Create button, choosing the connection icon, and then choosing Autonomous Data Warehouse Cloud from the possible options. I'll supply a colloquial name for my connection, a brief description, and then I'll select the zip file that I downloaded from my ADW instance when I created it, which is stored securely locally on my machine. And that information inside that zip file will be propagated to the list of different services that I can utilize while I'm connecting to this particular ADW instance. I'll supply the appropriate username and password, and then choose the appropriate service name, in this case, the TPCDS high service name, which is quite robust and powerful for what I want to accomplish. Once that connection is created successfully, my next step is to go ahead and gather data from the user accounts that are stored within that ADW instance. In this case, I'll look through and locate the user named AIML noob, quite appropriately named, and look at the different data sources that are available to me there. The one I'm going to focus in on is one that I created with a machine learning model that implemented exponential smoothing on particular data inside my TPCDS database. And in this case, I'll be able to quickly see the values that are stored within columns within that data set. For now, I'll collect all of those columns and save them in an appropriately named data set so that I can start to visualize the data in just a few more moments. Once I've named and saved that data set, OAC automatically shows me a brief snippet of the data here. And again, there's not a huge amount of data here because I've already massaged it with a machine learning algorithm. But now we're ready to start visualizing. There are some immensely powerful data visualization tools built into OAC. In fact, normally it would automatically suggest the type of graph that I should use. In this case, I'm going to make my own selection, a line graph. And I'm going to go ahead and then start populating my line graphs, X and Y axes, as appropriate. One of the things I love about OAC is that it won't let me make foolish mistakes like copying a measure into my X-axis or an attribute into my Y-axis. You may notice that as I'm dragging and dropping the different columns here. And what I've got is essentially a predictive model that was applied to real data. What I'm going to look at in just a second here, the red line that's going to appear, is the actual values that we used a machine learning algorithm against to obtain some projections. Note that I can easily mouse over any of these data points to see what's going on inside my graph, and this is an entirely simplistic graph, but I could really build some sophisticated ones if I so desire. Right now I'm going to save this graph in a new project. If I had an existing project, I could have saved it within there as well. But for right now, I'm going to save it because I'm going to come back later and make some changes, some tweaks, perhaps change the dimensions of the bar graph itself. And now that it's saved, I can come back and work on it anytime I want. There's an enormous amount of things that I can do with OAC. I've just showed you one or two of the small things that you can actually apply. Here's a list, but we're out of time for today. I'll show you more in future webcasts.